Alright, well, hello everyone, and there's some breaking news in the NFL world today. Brandin Cooks has been traded to the Houston Texans to replace the superstar receiver DeAndre Hopkins. Was this a good trade? Well, the media doesn't think so. Brandin Cooks has been traded for his third time in his career now. He was on the Saints, winded up on the Patriots, then got traded to the Rams. Now he's here in Houston, filling in the void for DeAndre Hopkins. Do I think this is a good trade? Not really, because they are taking on an expensive contract, Houston, and Bill O'Brien made a stupid decision by doing that. There's going to be great receivers in the draft, and they picked up Brandin Cooks. He is very young, I'll give him that. He is a star receiver. He does make big plays, but he's a shorter receiver. He's 25. He's been everywhere, so he might know a lot of playbooks and stuff, but other than that, Brandin Cooks is not DeAndre Hopkins. If you did not know Bill O'Brien, he's not DeAndre Hopkins. He's not the same type of receiver. DeAndre Hopkins is an all-around receiver. Brandin Cooks is pretty much a burner, a guy in a slot that could catch passes and get you first downs. But other than that, he's not a guy that is an over-the-top type of threat for your offense. So with that being said, what we're going to do in today's video is we're going to do a Brandin Cooks simulation, see what his stats are for his first two seasons under the Houston Texans offense. And I also got David Johnson on the roster as well, because that's who they got in the DeAndre Hopkins trade. When they traded him over to Arizona, they got David Johnson. He's not even a starting halfback. That's how bad he is. Duke Johnson is the starting halfback. So with that being said, let's get started in this Madden 20 simulation. Guys, if you do enjoy these videos, drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I would really appreciate it, and let's get started. So what I do is I sim to the mid-season, see what his stats are looking like halfway through the season, and see if they're winning games, see if he's producing. We're going to take a look at that right here, right now. But yeah, there's not a lot of news recently, but this is the breaking news. In the past couple of weeks now, that free agency kind of has died down. So the Texans are 5-3, and looks like Bill O'Brien made a good trade. So we're gonna auto upgrade those players for the sake of this video. Let's take a look at the stats. Is Brandin Cooks the leading receiver for the Houston Texans? He better be, because they traded a second-round pick to acquire Brandin Cooks. All right, Brandin Cooks has 34 receptions, 440 yards, averaging 55 yards per game, 3 TDs, has 125 rack yards. His longest reception is only 24 yards. He's played in all 8 games so far and has played in 497 downs. So with that being said, he is the leading receiver, but I expect more. I expect a little more production, over 500 yards maybe. Have at least 5 TDs. A little more would be nice, because he's a second-round receiver, and he should be doing better than sub 500 and sub 5 TDs. So there's that. They also do have Randall Cobb, who they did sign this free agency offseason. He only has 2 receptions for 42 yards. He's not even that great on the roster. So there's that. Will Fuller, you know him. He's another speed threat, a guy that can catch a deep ball from Deshaun Watson. And then you got Kenny Stills still. So, yeah. Brandin Cooks is the leading receiver, though. So that's what we wanted to see. And, yeah, he's the leading receiver. Now let's take a look. See if they make the playoffs with Brandin Cooks. Is he that type of playmaker to get him to the playoffs like DeAndre Hopkins did? We will see. And yeah, I'm enjoying this video. Hopefully you guys are as well. Tell me other videos I should post on the channel for your guys' entertainment, because the draft is coming up. I'm probably going to post my opinions on the draft and what my thoughts are about the draft. This virtual draft that's taking place, it's going to be fun, and it's going to be different because of the coronavirus. So yeah, all right. So the Texans did make the playoffs. They're playing the New England Patriots. We're going to upgrade these players real quick for the sake of simulation. They're getting better. They're progressing. Yada, yada, yada. All right. The Texans finished 10-6 on the season, and they finished third place and managed to wind up in the playoffs. So you're telling me the Colts, the Titans, and the Texans wind up in the playoffs. Okay, that's cool. Let's take a look at the stats, the final stats for Brandin Cooks for the sake of this video. Brandin Cooks didn't even eclipse 1,000 yards. He got 71 receptions, 898 yards. Couldn't even get 900. Just 2 more yards, bro. 2 more. Only got 3 more touchdowns to finish off the season, and a total of 6. He averaged 56.1 yards per game. Had 279 rack yards. Played in all 16 games, and his longest reception was still 24 yards. He averaged 3.9 after the catch. So, with that being said, he's not a receiver that's gonna give you 1,000 yards and put up like receiver 1 numbers, but he's a decent receiver, a guy you can rely on, a guy that you know will be there, a vet that will know the playbook, stuff like that, and he did well enough to go to the playoffs, so we'll give him credit where credit is due. Now, let's take a look. So the Texans are 10-6. Let's see if they can win with Brandin Cooks and beat the New England Patriots. They do. Now they got to go up against Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. So what we're going to do, we're going to sim here. Can they beat them and move on to the AFC Championship game? They do. Brandin Cooks looks like to be the man. Can they win the AFC Championship game against Patrick Mahomes in the simulation? We will see. Can they advance to the Super Bowl? We'll find out. Do they do it? Do they do it? They do it. The Houston Texans are Super Bowl bound. Bill O'Brien does not look like a moron. They are going against the Dallas Cowboys, Randall Cobb's former team. So there's a little rivalry there. But Brandin Cooks is trying to win a Super Bowl. He's been in 2, lost with the Patriots, lost with the Rams. Now he's trying to win with the Texans. So will that Brandin Cooks' bad luck still stand, or will he finally catch a break and win a Super Bowl? And we will see right here, right now. The Houston Texans lost Super Bowl 54. Brandin Cooks' bad luck still remains, and they lost by 3. It's very unfortunate, but that's why we're here to sim a second season. That is very unfortunate. We lost by 3. Okay, we're going to sim to next season. We're going to do this right now. We got to make sure we can go into Super Bowl 55 and compete and win a championship with Brandin Cooks. He got him to the Super Bowl, so there's that. Bill O'Brien's moves don't look stupid now. So, we're going to sim mid-season now. Tell me what Brandin Cooks is going to do this season. Is he going to go off, guys? What do you think? You think he's going to be that playmaker this season, guy that can get 1,000 yards for you, 10 TDs? Will he be that type of receiver, that number 1 receiver the Texans are looking for to fill the void of DeAndre Hopkins? We're going to find out. Here we go. We're simming midway through the season. All right. It looks like we're on a bye week. We're going to upgrade our players for the sake of the simulation. Make sure people are progressing. All right, cool. Now, are the Texans doing hot? They're 2-6. They're not having that type of season they had last year. So I'm guessing his numbers went down for his second season as a Houston Texan. He is down here. He's the 4th leading receiver on the team. Duke Johnson has better stats with less receptions. That's unfortunate. All right, Brandin Cooks, 342 yards receiving, 2 TDs. He has 10.7 yards per reception. He's averaging 42.8 yards per game. So he's going off in a decline right now. It's unfortunate. He's playing all 8 games, so that's not an issue. And he's played in 467 downs. Words are hard. Okay, so Texans are last place in the division right now. Can they step it up in the second half of the season and go back on that Super Bowl run that they want to go on and win the Super Bowl this time around? Bill O'Brien got into a Super Bowl last season. He's trying to do it again in this season. Let's see what happens. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen, but we'll find out. I hope it does for the sake of the video, for the sake of your guys' enjoyment, that it does happen, that they make the playoffs, wild card round, and all, and they don't. So, Brandin Cooks dropped off in the second season. We did make the playoffs. he wasn't the leading receiver for them. They finished 6-10, the Texans. Let's take a look at the stats. Why not? We'll take a look. Receiving-wise, Brandin Cooks, what'd you do, buddy? Wasn't the first leading receiver. He was the second leading receiver. Had 63 receptions, 779 yards, 7 TDs. He had more touchdowns, one more this time around. And his longest reception was 82 yards. So he did have a nice deep threat catch for a touchdown. I'm guessing 82 yards better be a touchdown. If it's not, that's sad. 950 downs played. So he played more downs than Kenny Stills. But Kenny Stills still averaged more yards per play and more TDs. So I don't understand that. Let's take a look what his overall is. So for the sake of this video, we started at 85 overall, and he wound up increasing 3 overalls to an 88 overall, and he's still at star development for the sake of this simulation. So Brandin Cooks did improve with the Houston Texans. He got them to the Super Bowl his first season. So there is that. So Brandin Cooks, hopefully he could do this in real life. That's what Houston Texans fans want. That's what the Houston Texans want. So with that being said, guys, if you did enjoy today's video, drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll be doing tons of videos like this. When the NFL draft rolls around, I'll be doing simulations with the rookies, see how the rookies do with their new teams they get drafted to. So there's going to be a lot of great content on the channel, so be on the lookout for that. But that is all I have for you guys today. Rock Soldier 72 signing off.